The woman deliberately cut off her own hair, carefully packed it into a bag, and then pulled out some dye to change the color of both her hair and eyebrows. She splashed disinfectant on the floor to erase any trace of ever being there, then grabbed a hammer and smashed it against herself with full force. Every step was part of her plan to disappear completely and frame her husband for her own murder. 6 months earlier, she had already drafted a meticulous plan. First, she maxed out her husband's credit cards, secretly stashing away expensive luxury goods to make it look like he was drowning in debt. She even collected urine from a pregnant neighbor to fake medical records that claimed she herself was expecting. To make the story bulletproof, she bought a hefty life insurance policy, with her husband as the sole beneficiary. On their wedding anniversary, after making sure he had left the house, she staged the perfect crime scene. Just to be thorough, she also wrote 300 diary entries, starting all the way back from their honeymoon phase. In them, she painted him as a cheating, abusive husband who kept her trapped in constant fear. Then she carefully burned the diaries in the oven, just enough to look like he had tried to destroy incriminating evidence. She planted clue after clue for the police, setting in motion the perfect frame job. Once everything was in place, she drove off alone, changed her appearance, and rented a small house in another town, waiting for the day her husband would be arrested for her murder. As expected, the police soon pieced together the trail she had left. Every bit of evidence pointed straight at him. The charge of killing his wife was practically locked in, but to her surprise, once she vanished, her husband seemed oddly cheerful in front of the cameras, smiling, shaking hands, and acting like the star of the show. His bizarre behavior instantly made headlines. The media branded him a sleazebag, and when things spiraled, he rushed to host a candlelight vigil for his beloved wife to salvage his image. That's when a neighbor carrying a baby stormed in, accusing him of being an abusive jerk who had mistreated his pregnant wife. The explosive accusation threw the event into chaos, with reporters swarming him until he barely escaped by ducking into a police car. Under police questioning, the husband insisted he didn't even know that neighbor. But then officers pulled out a photo of them together. Things got worse. Forensic tests revealed his wife's blood in the kitchen. His credit card records showed extravagant purchases, and her insurance payout, worth a fortune, had him listed as the sole beneficiary. Everything screamed guilty. His wife was missing. The evidence was stacked against him, and he was left scrambling to prove his innocence. Meanwhile, the woman sat comfortably in her rented room, watching the news coverage. She was so thrilled by her husband's downfall that she actually jumped up and cheered, only to accidentally drop her fat wallet on the floor. In a panic, she stuffed it back into her clothes, but it was already too late. Her sharp-eyed neighbor had noticed. Before long, that neighbor returned with backup, stormed into her room and pinned her against the wall.